Hey guys, good morning. Sunday morning, another work day for me. Just here in the emergency department. So those of you who don't know, I'm a registered nurse. I work in the emergency department and I do keto. So obviously, that's why I'm doing keto videos. Hey, listen, I wanted to talk this morning about what a typical grocery store shopping day might be like, or should be like for someone that's doing the keto diet or the keto way of life. So whenever you're going through your produce department, you know, you're sticking with your cruciferous vegetables, things like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower. You can eat things like zucchini, bell peppers in moderation. The bell peppers are a little sweeter, but they're still fine. Onions, spaghetti squash, things like that. Those are all good to go on keto. Grab yourself some berries, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Blackberries are a little higher in fructose, as well as blueberries. But if you're going to be eating berries every other day or a few times a week, best ones to stick with would be the strawberries or the raspberries. Your meats, obviously any of those are good to go. You want to watch out though, because there is a lot of stuff going on now with like salmon, where they're allowing this genetically modified salmon. It's always best if you can. I don't myself. I don't get like local beef. It's really expensive. I mean, if you went through and you added up, and I understand this is more for people that are on a budget for their groceries. So that's what I'm speaking to here, because obviously buying a beef or half a beef is very expensive, and so that gets costly to pay it all out at once. Obviously people that are on a budget, they need to buy things like ground beef and stuff like that at the store. Is it better to get a beef and know that it's grass-fed, grass-finished? Absolutely, that is better. These typically those farmers, they don't put antibiotics in their beef. The stuff that you buy at the store is loaded with antibiotics, and they're grain-fed, grain-finished, because they want to get that cow as fat as they can. That should tell you something there. If you are, thinking about keto, or you're not quite sure that you want to go keto, the way to fatten a cow is to feed the baby cows milk, and the adult cows, they fatten them up with grains. So that should tell you the food pyramid that the United States uses. They're fattening us up like cattle. So anyways, back to my grocery list. So you want to get fatty cuts of meat. Don't go in there and look at, boneless, skinless chicken breast. Sure, that's great for if you're cooking things like stir fries and stuff like that. That's sure, but you don't need to eat steamed broccoli and boneless, skinless chicken breast for your meals, because fat is what you want. You want fat in your diet. So you want a fatty cut of beef. You want to get fatty cuts of pork. Things like that. Ground beef, 80-20 for your ground beef. You don't need to get the 93.7%. You want to get the fattier beef. Bacon obviously is good to go. Sausages, you want to watch sausages, because there's added sugars in those. So you want to get the ones that myself, I get probably not the best, but the Jimmy Dean hot and spicy, because I like a little spice to my sausage, but it doesn't have a ton of added sugar, so that you want to watch that. Your bacon, if you get the maple cured, those kinds of things, those have sugar in them. So I just get like the Applewood smoked bacon. It's like 0 carbs, so they put the flavoring in with the smoke from the wood. Your cheeses, you want to stay away from the pre-shredded bagged cheeses. They sneak things into those that you don't really realize. There's potato starch that they put in the bags of shredded cheese to keep the cheese from sticking together and clumping up. So you want to just buy the block cheese and shred it yourself at home. That's the best way to go. Milk, obviously, not good. Heavy whipping cream's okay in moderation. You want to be careful though, because there's like 0.9 grams of carbohydrates in one, or I can't know if it's 2 tablespoons of the serving size, anyways, for the whipping cream. So if you're, going to Starbucks and you're getting a Breve coffee, you're getting about 3/4 of that coffee is heavy whipping cream. So you're going to get 10 carbs in your coffee. So a lot of people don't know that, because the heavy whipping cream says less than 1 gram, so or 0 grams. If they list it as 0 grams on the ingredients, anything less than 1 gram, that's 1 gram of sugar, 1 gram of carbs, 1 gram of fat. If it's less than 1 gram, the USDA doesn't make them put that on there. It can say 0 grams. So just be aware of that. There's 0.9 grams of carbs per serving of whipping cream, heavy whipping cream. So, but it's still good to go in moderation. A lot of recipes call for it, and if you're using a cup of heavy whipping cream in a recipe that serves 16 servings, it's not really that big of a deal. So just keep that in mind though. And then you go, sour cream's good to go. You can use that. Butter, of course, is excellent. Eggs, no problem there. Eggs are 0.6 grams of carbs per egg, so there's no big deal with that. You want to stay in the perimeter of the grocery store as much as possible. The things that are in the middle, most of that stuff is heavily processed and garbage. And what you do need to get from in the middle of the grocery store, you want to read the labels. Now, I know a lot of people, they're big proponents of not buying pre-made salad dressings and things like that. But for convenience, I do use the salad dressings, but they have soybean oil and stuff. So if you're like, I'm pretty hardcore, but I'm not as hardcore as some people, so I still will use salad dressings, store-bought salad dressings. I have made it on occasion, but not typically. Mayonnaise I still use with the just the best foods. It's got vegetable oil in it, which isn't really the best, but again, it's a convenience thing. But obviously in the middle sections is your almond flour and your sweeteners like Pure or your Swerve, or monk fruit, wherever you get that stuff from, coconut flour, all that's in the middle sections. But just try to stay focused when you're there, and get those foods that are friendly to the keto, and try to stay out. Even like pork rinds, if you get the ones that are spicy, maltodextrin, dextrose, all those things are in the ingredients, so I don't even buy those anymore. I just go for the plain ones, because they are the ingredients are pork rinds and salt. So if you want to spice them up at home with some tapatio or something like that, like some kind of a salsa, that's all good. But you want to try and stay away from the seasoned ones, because they put sugar in the seasoning. So they hide it everywhere. Make sure that you're reading your ingredients list in your grocery, in your pre-made stuff that's bagged. And a lot of people say, like Dr. Ken Berry, he says that if you're buying things that come pre-packaged, that you need to count the total carbs and not the net carbs, because things are hidden in there. And that's why I don't even buy. I used to buy the Russell Stover's chocolates, the sugar-free candies, and I used to only count the net carbs. But the carbs actually from the Russell Stover sugar-free candies, they have maltitol, which is, if you look at maltitol versus sucrose, which is table sugar, it's pretty close. Like you got sucrose, and then you got maltitol as far as insulin response. So it's and then you got Swerve and erythritol, which is basically 0. So you got to watch your ingredients. It's very important to do that. Otherwise, you're just sabotaging yourself. You may have high blood sugars and you don't understand why. Well, things like maltitol and dextrose that are hidden in your foods that you're eating, that's where it's at. So I've gotten from 262 to 161, so that, and of course that's been over time. It's not overnight, so that's just been my heaviest of 262, and now I'm 161, 6 pounds away from my high school weight. So yeah, so just trying to help you out a little bit with your grocery shopping today. So be mindful of that whenever you're hitting the grocery store, and just keep that keto, keep it going. It's a grind, and it gets easier. So you know, whenever you're doing it for the first couple of weeks, it's pretty challenging, but then after that, it just starts to fall in place, and it's just second nature. And you'll start reading your ingredients and being able to be more strict on it, and it's so much easier to follow. So I hope this helps. If you like this video, then go ahead and hit the like and the share down at the bottom. Subscribe to my channel so that you're seeing these whenever I make a video, it pops up. And if you guys have questions or comments, you can leave them. Also, you can visit my Facebook page, Keto Simplicity, and you can make comments there. I'm always posting recipes, maybe from other people like Maria Emmerich or you know, Low Carb Life. I do post some of their stuff. I hope they don't mind. And I share some, you know, comments from Jimmy Moore and Dr. Ken Berry and Thomas DeLauer. Those guys all are very knowledgeable, and they know the keto life, and they all live it. So again, I hope this was helpful, and I hope that's helpful on Keto Simplicity, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.